Hi, I'm Melissa Cobb. Come fly with AOPA. This week, flying the Extra 330SX, a flying sports car takes to the air, and a close-up look at a Boeing Stearman.
AOPA keeps flying safe, accessible, and fun by protecting your freedom to fly. We are the most trusted one-stop resource for all things related to general aviation. Become an AOPA pilot today.
Extra debuted the 330SX back in July. That's the 315 horsepower single-seat aerobatic airplane. It's the successor to the popular 330SC model. AOPA editor at Large Dave Hirschman recently had a chance to take it up for a spin.
Hi guys, my name is Marcus Extra. We are here in Dienstlaken at the Extra factory, and I would like to introduce to you our newest project, the Extra 330SX. She's the successor of the 10 times world champion Extra 330SC. Let's have a quick look at the new aircraft. So we have very effective ailerons here due to the span increase of the horns. So this will give you a high roll rate at high speed maneuvers or at slow speed maneuvers. Furthermore, we shortened the fuselage, so due to this, the center of gravity is at one place. This will reduce the mass inertia, so we can tumble even better than before. Furthermore, we also have very effective rudders and elevators. This gives you an incredible feeling while you do aerobatics. Let me show you the panel of the Extra SX. So I'm sitting in a very ergonomic and comfortable position. The stick is right in the middle and it has a very nice height for me. The pedals are adjustable, so you can adjust it, depends how tall or small you are. The throttle is over here, it's also in a very ergonomic position. Here you can see a timer that you can start, for example, for your 4-minute freestyle. Airspeed and altitude is over here, and right in the middle there's a Garmin G3X where you can see all the information that you need, for example G meter, or you can see temperatures, fuel flows, whatever you need. A compass and a trim. Down here you see all the switches and circuit breakers with the transponder and com from Trick. Over here is the prop and the mixture, the headset, the switch for fuel tanks. So this is the center tank, or you can go onto the wing tanks. Over here, this is the center tank itself. It holds about 18.5 gallons, so you can fly more than 1 hour of aerobatics in it.
Few airplanes are born with such high expectations. The Extra SX is made for international aerobatic competition, and its German designer, Walter Extra, expects it to dominate that elite category. I recently had the opportunity to fly the prototype SX at the Extra aircraft factory in northern Germany, and it's a marvel. My introductory flight was cut short by rain and low ceilings, but the airplane's power, control harmony, and precision were obvious. The SX is rated for plus or minus 10 Gs, and its roll rate exceeds 400 degrees per second. There are only a handful of pilots in the world capable of flying the SX to its limits, and I'm definitely not one of them. But all pilots can appreciate the engineering, craftsmanship, and quality that goes into such an uncompromising airplane. Extra Aircraft has produced more than 850 airplanes since it was founded in 1980, and the SX redefines the state-of-the-art for competition aerobatics.
Well, that looks like a lot of fun to fly. I tell you, there's another aircraft that looks like it could also be a lot of fun to fly, and that is the Samson Sky Switchblade flying sports car. It took its first flight on November 9th. The aircraft flew for about 6 minutes at 500 feet. Now, this aircraft will cruise about 160 miles per hour. It has a 190 horsepower engine that'll burn 9.5 gallons an hour. Now, the Switchblade will be sold as an experimental kit. The VFR model is estimated to start at $170,000 and the IFR version at $195,000. The Switchblade debuted at EAA AirVenture way back in 2008. So let us know in the comments below, yay or nay, would you want to fly a flying sports car? I think it would be pretty cool. The General Aviation Manufacturers Association has released its latest billing and shipment data. This is through the third quarter of this year, and all segments are up, even if some just slightly so. So the piston aircraft segment increased almost 12%, turboprops were up almost 15%, and business jets increased 2% over the same time period in 2022. The FAA has extended the comment period for a proposed airworthiness directive that would affect nearly 31,000 aircraft in the U.S. registry. That new comment deadline is set for February next year. Now, this proposed AD would require replacement of rudder posts made from a certain carbon steel alloy. This proposed AD was prompted by rudder hinge fractures that caused two separate accidents. Thankfully, neither accident was fatal. The accidents occurred in a Piper PA-12 and a PA-14, and they happened back in 2020 and 2021. AOPA and several other organizations had urged the FAA to extend the comment period deadline just to give the aviation community more time to do some research and provide input. We'll drop a link in the description below where you can get all the details on this proposed AD. Well, if you or someone you know has a high-end consumer electronic headset and is interested in converting it into an aviation headset, you might check out the in-flight Nomad microphone, something that could be even for your spare headset or a headset for a passenger. Well, AOPA senior photographer and pilot David Toulis installed one on his Bose consumer headset, and he said it performs great. He's even worn them for 8 hours on a long cross-country flight. Now, he shares the pros and cons of the microphone, as well as some hacks that he did to reinforce it and make the mic connect really well to the headset. You can check out his full review on our YouTube channel. Just click on the link in the upper right of your screen. And finally this week, 17-year-old pilot James Frank tells us the story about his family's 1941 Boeing Stearman.
This is a 1941 Boeing Stearman, one of 6 Coast Guard Stearmans. Well, there's not many of them. There's 6 of them ever built. There's a couple still flying, and this one's somewhat newly restored, 2005. You fly somewhere in an open cockpit, and you can smell, if you're over a cow pasture or a fire, or the smells of the radial. You don't get that in any other radial, except for a biplane or an open cockpit. This is the first thing that pilots flew in World War II. This is what they started in. They strapped into this airplane knowing that they were probably going to go to war. So they went through this and then some other airplanes before they went to a fighter, but this is where it all started for almost all of the World War II pilots. You can't have anything loose in there, and you must dress really warm. I learned that the hard way. It's got a really high center of gravity and some really narrow gear. It's just pretty hard to see out of. So if the pilots could fly this, they weren't going to have a lot of trouble with the T6 or any other airplane that would fly. I feel very lucky, very blessed to be able to fly an airplane like this. I feel like we're just taking care of history and bringing it out for people to see, and making sure that airplanes like this don't go in the back of hangars and collect dust. It's a really good rides airplane. The front seater gets their own cockpit and their own throttle and stick, and they've got really good views out the front. So it's really good to introduce people, and hopefully they'll remember it and get into it more.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Fly with AOPA. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all our latest information. This week, we leave you with some beautiful footage from our very own video editor, Michelle Walker. She got to fly the Hudson River Corridor in New York City at night in an RV-12. Well, be sure to send in your favorite flying videos. You just might see them on an upcoming show. And if you're not already an AOPA pilot, we'd love for you to join us. Just click on the link at the end of this video to learn more about our trial membership. We'll see you next week.